We got things heating up in South Beach as the Heat look to put the Bucks on their heels. And for the Grizzlies and Lakers in Game 3, we definitely had fireworks on the court. Let's get into things because BAM's here to keep you on the winning side of things and that bankroll growing. Now, in our first matchup, we're going to be looking at Game 4 for the Bucks and Heat, where if the Heat can pull out a victory, they'll be sending the Bucks back to Milwaukee for Game 5, which will be an elimination game. Now, we see the books are pricing the Heat as an underdog. At the time, there is no news on Giannis' availability for this Game 4. Now, we saw that he didn't play in Game 3, and that, in my opinion, weighed heavily on the outcome that we saw, where the Heat came out and basically stomped the Bucks. Now, we see that the books are going to price the Heat as an underdog. If you feel that Giannis will not play in Game 4, or even if he does, will be rusty, you definitely want to look at that plus 4.5 on the spread, or the money line of plus 150 if you think they can win outright. Now, something I think definitely is worth a look at is this game total of 218. Looking at the over in this game, we've seen both these teams come out and score 120, if not more, points. And with a game total that low, if one side is putting up 120, 130 points, you do not need that much out of the other side to be able to reach the over. And could possibly fall in line with what we've seen out of these two teams throughout this series. And that's if Giannis doesn't play. If he does play and you are holding over on this 218, I definitely think the over is a great position to have. Now let's move into that second matchup where, yes, I mentioned we had fireworks in Game 3 because for whatever reason, Dillon Brooks decided to get a little frisky around midcourt and get himself ejected from the game. And I would expect this to follow with an impending suspension. So expect for Dillon Brooks to be unavailable for this game. And we see the books have the Lakers priced as the favorite, minus 4.5 on the spread, minus 185 on the money line. They definitely think that the Lakers are going to come in and secure another victory. Now, we saw in the last game, the Lakers came out in the first quarter and put up a near historic performance with a 35-9 first quarter. Now, this does lose a little bit of luster in my eyes as the Lakers turned around and only put up 18 points in the second quarter. But fortunately for them, this was more than enough of a lead to be able to fend off the Grizzlies and a 45-point performance by Ja Morant, who put 24 of those points up in the fourth quarter. Now, looking at this game 4, honestly, it's hard to lean one way or the other as far as this spread. I definitely think that there's something to be said for LeBron's experience in the playoffs and potentially what that motivation can do for a team like the Lakers that are young and in a lot of ways inexperienced when it comes to things like playoffs. I do think that the over on the game total could potentially be live, though both these teams have shown that they're not too concerned with going out and scoring a whole lot of points. And that being said, it makes it very difficult to try and play an over with a matchup like this. Now, do remember that expect the Grizzlies to be without Dillon Brooks, and I do think that that will weigh on a lot of the outcomes of some of these numbers and markets. And as always, folks, remember, take care out there, y'all. D Weezy out. Twinkle, twinkle, baby.